Hello there and welcome to the Fastmarkets Live Lounge, brought to you by Aquatech. And this episode is being broadcast and recorded live here at the Lithium Supply and Battery Raw Materials Conference in Las Vegas. I'm Georgia Tolley and I'm delighted to say I am joined today by Daniel Abdo. Now, he is Director of International Relations at Sigma Lithium. Now, that is a company that is really rapidly emerging as one of the most recognized names in sustainable lithium production. Now, with a background that spans investment banking, corporate finance, and also strategic consulting, including time at all the big banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BCG, and RK Partners, Daniel really does bring a rare blend of global market insight and operational excellence. So at Sigma, he's been helping drive international growth, as you would expect, but also investor relations and strategic partnerships, because the company is basically looking to deliver on its vision of low carbon, high impact lithium for energy transition. It's a very exciting field and exciting role, and I'm excited to have Daniel here. Hello.
Exciting to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, I'm really interested by your career journey because you'd worked in finance, consulting, and now it sort of looks like you've chosen critical minerals as the field that you want to focus on. That's kind of a vote of confidence for critical minerals. Would you agree?
Absolutely. But if you think about it, it'll make sense when I tell you the story. So Ana Cabral, who's our CEO, and I, we were part of the team that opened Goldman Sachs' offices in São Paulo, Brazil, back in 2007. And one of the first deals we worked on was the IPO of the Brazilian Stock Exchange. Fast forward, I move on to private equity, infrastructure private equity. Anna opens E10, which was her advisory boutique, which later became an impact investing shop, and today is the majority shareholder of Sigma. And we did different things. I went on to become a senior advisor at BCG, where I worked on several projects that were tangentially touching on energy transition. And then I get a call from Anna in 2021. It's like, Daniel, I have this lithium company. We're listed in Toronto. I'd like to list it on NASDAQ. Come help. And I was like, wow, this is a very interesting opportunity. The timing was quite perfect.
Okay.
So I joined then, and it's been an incredible journey, as you can imagine. I mean, I joined as like probably the fifth employee of the company. Today we're over 600.
Wow. Yeah, that's fast. I mean, why specifically Sigma? Were you looking for an opportunity in critical minerals, or was it just that the circumstance, just Anna got in touch?
I think it was a combination of both. I
Yeah.
mean, Anna's someone that I deeply admire. She's a brilliant person, incredible leader. And also at the time, I mean, whenever you talk about lithium in South America, only Argentina and Chile popped up. No one talked about Brazil. Because unfortunately, we didn't have a mapping of the geological map of Brazil, of what was under there. And the feasibility studies that Sigma had done realized that there was a lot of material to be, explored. So I just thought that, it made a lot of sense to join a company that was growing, that was nascent, with a strong team backing it up. And, just the perfect timing. And that's exactly what I experienced. I mean, 2 years later, we were at the boom, at the top of the height of the lithium market. Now we're struggling a little bit, but it's okay. It's a commodity. It's volatile. But we're pushing through. Because we're very, very diligent in the way we operate and move things forward.
It's clearly a purpose-driven company. This green lithium strategy is one of the things you're best known for. What's the thinking behind that approach?
Okay, that's a great question. So also part of my decision process. So Brazil, unfortunately, in 2015 and 2019, had the two dramatic, catastrophic tailings dams disasters. That tailings dams that just broke and flooded cities, and lives were lost. So the mining industry in Brazil became tainted for many, many years. And when Anna, through E10, invested in Sigma at first, her mission was to prove to the world that it's possible to make a sustainable mining operations. Now, sustainability is not only about the environmental aspects, it's also about the social aspect. regions. And our operations, we are in probably one of the poorest regions of Brazil, with one of the lowest indexes of human development in the world. So we are between two municipalities, one with a population of about 17,000, the other one with about 24,000. So we arrived there, the people, really don't have much. It's a semi-arid region, so agriculture is tough. So what ended up happening is a lot of the people moved out of the city for lack of opportunities and jobs. So when we got there, we always had very open dialogues with the communities to understand how we could help. Because as a company, for us, the community engagement is a lot more about creating opportunities for these people in these communities to grow alongside with us than simply doing donations, donate a fire truck, donate a hospital, whatever. We end up doing some of that as well, but I think our where we spend most of our effort, and we have dedicated teams to do this, is to create these opportunities. So we have a microcredit program for the female entrepreneurs in the region. We have this program for subsistence farmers. Since it's such an arid region, we help them, we lend our equipment to help them make these rainwater capture basins so they'd have water supply all year round. So we've been seeing a very, very important impact and transformational growth in the region from our social initiatives. But going back to environmental, which is super important as well, our product is called green lithium for a reason. So first, we are the first lithium operations globally that does not use tailing dams. We simply adapted technology that already existed in the mining industry to dry stack our tailings. Second, we don't use potable water. The water used in our operations comes from a river whose quality, and this is because of the lack of infrastructure in the region, the quality of the water is improper even for industrial use. So we had to build a water treatment station right at the entrance of our plant where we pump the water in there, we treat it, and this water is 100% recirculated through the circuit of our plant. Third, we do not use hazardous chemicals in our plant. We use inert chemicals in a process called dense media separation, which is how we concentrate the lithium that we extract. And fourth, and probably most importantly, 100% of the energy we use on the plant is from renewable sources.
How?
So,
gosh, this is remarkable. How?
So something you may not know, the Brazilian energy grid is 90% renewable, 50% hydro, and the 40% is a balance between wind and solar.
I did not know that. That's genuinely fascinating.
It is, and in the state we are in, it's 99% renewable.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's really interesting. And you're producing lithium now?
We are. We started, our first shipment went out in July of 23. We have a capacity of 270,000 tons a year. And we are currently working on an expansion of our phase 2 project, which will double this capacity. It will add another 250,000 tons.
Wow, you're really growing fast.
Super.
And you're leading sort of Sigma's international growth efforts. So what's the biggest challenge for you?
So it's more about, we're not growing internationally, it's more about making our presence known internationally, because we have so much to work with in Brazil.
Yeah, you don't need
We need to market the country more. And that's my job. That's what I've been doing. I've been to China 3 times this year. I was at Fastmarkets China in February. I've been to Riyadh. I've been to London. So it's about talking about Brazil and why Brazil is, prone to become a leading protagonist in energy transition. Why? We have an abundance of high quality natural resources. We have renewable energy.
Which I get very excited about already. Yeah.
We are very important in this volatile market. We are a low-cost jurisdiction. So one of the things we pride ourselves in being, we are the second lowest cost producer of hard rock lithium in the world. And this is how we are able to survive the volatility of the market right now. Even at current prices, we have still paper-thin margins, but we're there. We're pushing through. Fourth, and probably most importantly, Brazil is diplomatically neutral, and given the complex geopolitical environment we're living in, it helps us navigate the situation.
Yes, you're less likely to get caught up in arguments.
Absolutely. So we can do business with Asia, with Europe, with North America. So we're very happy to do that.
So your work is clearly bearing fruit. You are becoming very well known on the global stage. Was there a kind of a moment for you where you thought, I've nailed this, we've arrived, people know who we are?
Absolutely. There were some very important milestones. The listing on NASDAQ was phenomenal.
Huge. Yeah.
Our first shipment, we actually did an event at the port of Vitória where we brought the vice president of Brazil, the governor of our state, the governor of the state of the port, and we did the traditional champagne bottle breaking on the container. It was a beautiful event. But to answer your question, we've done a lot of site visits, taking clients and investors to see the operations, because a lot of people don't believe it until they see it. And we had one client from Asia. After the visit, they turned to us and said, wow, this should become the new standard for the industry. So, that was as big of a compliment as we could get.
Yeah, that is a fine moment there, especially if they'd come over from Asia, which of course
Absolutely.
is, where the highest production is at the moment. Okay, so you've been working through sort of market volatility. You've done it in the past. You're doing it now. You've seen political change. We all have. And you've also seen shifting technologies. What sort of mindset or principle has seen you through these ups and downs, do you think? How do you seem like a very steady person. How do you stay steady?
The word is consistency.
Okay, we like that. Yeah.
And focus on what we can control. As private equity investors, we are completely obsessed with controlling our costs. Mm-hmm. We are already a low-cost jurisdiction, but we control every penny, and that's what got us through the cycle of COVID. I don't know if you know this, but Sigma was the first new relevant player to come online in 2023 since 2018. Why? We were the only ones that continued investing during COVID, during the pandemic. So we were ready when the market was ready. We were ready to come out. And we're doing the exact same thing right now. Despite the tough conditions, we got funding from the Brazilian Development Bank to do our expansion, and we're controlling every penny so we can do this phase 2. And when the market comes back, we're bigger, bolder, and ready to attack the market.
How did you learn that? How did you sort of progress in your career to know that was going to be your biggest skill? That was the most important skill set that you were going to need going forward.
So we always joke. I used to, as an investment banker, I always used to joke that management consultants, all they do is deliver a PowerPoint presentation and wish the client good luck. But
there's some guys who used to work for McKinsey here. We might question that gently, but I'll allow it.
So in my experience at BCG, and at the end of the day, you actually put your hands on the operations. Because it's very easy to be an advisor and just give your opinions from a distance, which may be good opinions, but you don't really care and understand what the challenges are until you are in the operations. And I think when you're closer in a consulting role, you see these things. So I think that's where I really learned, and through my experience in private equity as well, right? Managing portfolio companies.
So there's a lot of noise around lithium still, even though it's slightly, quite depressed at the moment. There's still a lot of noise. What do you think is still sort of widely misunderstood about the market? If people are excited about it, but what do they not quite get?
That not all lithium is created equal. And what I mean by that is, I actually spoke about this on my panel yesterday. You have to be able to mine responsibly, right? And we see certain jurisdictions that simply don't. And given that the market doesn't pay a green premium for players like us that, follow a strict protocol to really deliver sustainable material, there must be some differentiation in the market to prioritize, to give those that are doing the right thing some advantage.
Do you think that will change, though? Surely the Europeans and the North Americans will be seeking out.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely, and this can be done through policy and regulatory frameworks that can level the playing field.
Okay. I suddenly realised I stumbled into quite a sort of geopolitical region there, geopolitical area of conversation accidentally. Okay, so final question, and this is the one that I ask everyone who comes into the Fastmarkets live lounge. the conference is close to coming to an end now. What will be your biggest takeaway when you walk away from Las Vegas?
So I'm very glad that the sustainability theme is carried throughout all of the conversations that I've had here, be it with bankers, be it with clients, be it with our peers. There's a significant share of mind of sustainability in everyone's conversations. So, I just wish we can push that forward and we can see more of that becoming more of a reality as we move forward so that we can achieve the energy transition goals.
Absolutely fascinating conversation. Thank you very much for joining us. We really, really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Honestly, Daniel, really interesting to hear about your career path and then, of course, your perspective on lithium and specifically green lithium more widely. So I'm sure everyone here has really enjoyed the conversation. I'm sure everyone listening later at home has really enjoyed the conversation as well. And if you'd like to watch more episodes like this, I really recommend finding us on the various podcast services. So, we're talking about Amazon, Apple, Spotify. We're also on YouTube. That's where you can watch our fill videos. Just check out the Fastmarkets channel. All of this, of course, brought to you thanks to our sponsors, Aquatech. And you can also find us on social media. That's where some of our highlights will appear. It's where you can like, you can follow, you can even comment, and we'd love to hear from you. So please do follow us on all those social media platforms that you like and love. But yes, first of all, thank you very much indeed for listening to this episode. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.